Hello, so the new units are out and we can finally see their kits, and it is basically 7 section gang does a lot of rupture. So far the units look very good, and the team comps I've theorized also look pretty damn good. Heathcliff here, he has basically the same lines as G. Gregor, where if the target has a specific amount of rupture, the potency, you get coin power. So pretty much almost the exact same as G. Gregor. He has it on his skill 1 and skill 3, and he also applies a crap ton of rupture. He has some on hit and hit, so it doesn't really matter which you get. If you can roll your positive hits, then you can apply even more, otherwise you will guaranteed get some of the basic rupture. Skill 2 also looks pretty okay. It inflicts rupture count if you win a clash, and on hit you also inflict rupture count as well. So overall this is a pretty decent looking skill. It applies 1 tick of rupture count when you win the clash, and then 1 more on hit. So you will be able to maintain that rupture count whatever the number is. I expect it to be like maybe 2 or something like that. Forensics looks to be a very spicy move. 4 coins, very good. If target has X plus rupture, coin power plus Y, and then we have rupture, and then inflict rupture count against enemy with lowest rupture count on the kill. This one is more of a bonus and not something to really aim for because it's specifically on the 4th coin. If it was maybe like a passive here, it would be a bit more consistent, but yeah, you would have to try to aim for the 4th coin to kill, which is a bit tricky. Besides that, his passive is pretty much meant to be in 7 section. So if you hit a target that is weak to slash or pierce, you will apply rupture, and if the 4 or more surviving units, including this unit, are 7 section, you will inflict even more rupture. So overall, this character just is a shit ton of rupture application, possibly, and applies even more when you run him with 7 section. So 7 section are definitely our rupture gang. Besides that, we also have Faust. I won't talk about this because this one is just this, but on 1 target with the max HP. Yeah, it's basically the same as this. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. And then Faust is very strong looking. She reminds me of a DPS for 7 section. But with the fact that she has weakness allies does kind of make me feel like maybe she'll have Otis's stat lines, which would make her incredibly crazy. But the fact that she has coin power for every Y rupture on target on this skill 1, this skill 2, and X damage for every Y rupture on target makes me think she's going to be very DPS focused. So maybe low HP with high speed and okay, maybe low HP, slow speed and low defense, but in exchange she does a billion damage. I think that might be her stat line, but at the same time she could just be Otis stat line as well, which is very tanky, very fast, and yeah, very high defense. So yeah, it could be that stat line. Besides that, she's just very strong looking. Coin power for every Y rupture on the target, inflict rupture on second coin, dissect target is triple coin, coin power plus X, same line here. Clash win, you get rupture count, so you maybe possibly get a self-sustaining character. You know, like how Rose Banner Ryoshu, she applies. Sorry, not Ryoshu. Rose Banner Rodion, she applies her 2 tremor beforehand, and then she also bursts 2 tremor. So I think this might be the exact same in that you clash win, you will apply maybe 3 rupture count, so that your 1, 2, and 3 will consume the rupture count that you just applied, making her self-sufficient. This would be the best option. Otherwise, it will have to be negative, in which case you will need to apply a certain amount of rupture count. Yeah. So besides that, she has weakness analyze, so literally Otis. And then profiling, another 3 coin skill here, deals X% damage for every Y rupture on the target, and then clash win, apply rupture count as well. So once again, I think that this might also be 3 rupture count to make it so that it's self-sustainable. And then on hit with the second coin, you inflict rupture, and then if the target is staggered or defeated, I love that they're staggered on this because it means it's definitely meant for bossing or just, for staggering people. And then you get haste and slash power up next turn, and she is a triple slash character. So she's definitely all about that slash, and it's one thing I'll be talking about later. Besides that, the passive is that when she hits based on the weakness, which is slash, so she needs to hit a slash weak target, she also gains 1 poise for each rupture on the target before the attack. Which means she has a chance to crit even before she hits, which is very, very interesting because Sun Shower Otis also does that to Otis. But right now, Faust doesn't really have a Sun Shower Ego, so maybe Sun Shower Ego will be available for her at some point to make her into even more crit. But besides that, so far I think that this is just a straight up damage boost because with the 7 section gang, you will have Rupture from him, and you will have more Rupture, and you will just get the benefits here. So very DPS focused, looking like a very strong character for the 7 section. Besides that, I've also looked at the team comps potentially, which is most likely going to be Otis, Ryoshu, and Yisang, as well as K-Corp Honglu, and I'll explain why later. So the fact is, right, these 3 7 sections are all about applying fragility, and they're also extremely fast. They have 5 to 8 speed, 3 to 7 speed, and 5 to 8 speed. So this is really above average speed and pretty much the toppest tier of speed in the game. Besides that, she also has weakness analyze here, and she has access to a lot of great egos. And the main one here, I want to talk about Slash, right? Slash fragility from Swash from Ryoshu. She applies 5 of it if she can win a clash, and Swash is a pretty damn good move. So the main thing here is that it applies next turn, and weakness analyze is also next turn, and on your turn 1 is usually a setup turn for most of our speed runs in Refraction Railway. So maybe you do like body sight into your quick suppression as the most basic example. For that one, right, since it's happening next turn, the fact that all of these turn 1 moves can apply all of these important debuffs on turn 1, then turn 2 you can do some crazy ass nuke by using profiling and just get a billion damage on the target. You can use your weakness analyze to apply it on this turn. Sorry, not this turn. You use it now and then you apply next turn, and then you have your quick suppression next turn, you have your slash fragility next turn, and then you unleash it with Faust. Maybe even you teleport Dawn and then just smack with your rip space. Like, there's so many options here to go for. Besides that, even if you don't want to do specific setups like that, the egos are actually pretty damn amazing. The accessibility here is actually because of Heathcliff. Heathcliff here has red. None of the 7 section has red. And another thing to note is that Pride, the only source, is here, which is why I consider K-Corp Honglu quite important for this team comp if you want to run pure Rupture. So let's look at Yisang. Why do you want Yisang? Is because with these element types, you can actually get Crow's Eye View, making you even faster. You can run Sang Dawn if you want, because your team will be extremely fast, naturally. You also get Dimension Shredder, which has the Dimension... I can't remember the name. Dimensional Rupture or something. It applies a bunch of Dimensional Rifts, and it does bonus damage based on target's Rupture. I believe the calculation for this move is also kind of insane, in that this bonus Pride damage here is actually like multiplied based on Pride weakness as well. So it's like double dipping. This thing is like double dipping into the enemy's weakness or something like that. I don't remember the exact math for this, so someone better at math than me can explain it. But basically, if the target is weak to Pride as well, you will do a bazillion damage with this shit. And it's based on how much Rupture potency you can apply, and this team is all about Rupture potency, so it's really damn strong. Also, it makes it so that your 7 section Yisang will never consume your Rupture count because of Rambling Man as a passive. So it's just overall so damn good, very synergistic. In addition, the team definitely has access to Sun Shower. You will not usually be using Sun Shower, but if you want sloth damage, this team has a few sources. Field Command, Slash, Moline, it's fine. Sun Shower by itself is just busted, so if you just use it for AoE shit, then yeah, it's crazy. So you don't even need to get the super synergy benefits. But Dimension Shredder definitely is for synergy purposes. And then this one is just to go speedy and to nerf them. You can even go for Flash Flame if you want. Like, you can go all of them. Like, you have access to all of these egos. The elements here are really damn good. For Faust, you would need to get Lust, because this entire team comp does not have Lust except from skill 3 here. Skill 3 on Otis is the only way you are going to get Lust, so you will need to find another source of Lust. I think K-Corp Honglu, even though I recommended him, does not have Lust, if I remember correctly. Let's see, K-Corp Honglu... K-Corp Honglu, yeah, he does not have Lust. He only gives you Pride, which is the main thing that I would want to bring him for. In addition to that, he also has Dimension Shredder, which is why I recommend him. But yeah, you will need to find some way to get Lust. I cannot think of a good Lust source right now. So unfortunately, this one, not sure yet. But for... let's look at the others. Ryoshu, for example, in this team comp, will have access to Wrath and Pride, because of skill 2 as well as kick up Honglu inclusion, and then the skill 1 from Heathcliff should be enough to get you to this 4 ref to occasionally use your 4th match flame. You can of course get another ref source because ref is the main one for 4th match flame, but you do have access to this. In addition to that, if you can somehow get your lust energy, you can also go for red eyes because your team comp will allow it. You have a shit ton of envy and gloom in this team comp, so it's very very strong no matter how I look at it. Ryoshu has a lot of good egos, so all of this is being accessible. Honglu, the reason why K-Corp is because you can give the Pride and the Gluttony for Dimension Shredder. Dimension Shredder here, Yisang's one takes Sloth, this one takes Pride, yeah. That's why this one is a bit harder. You will need to run K-Corp and you get Dimensional Rift, and you also get this crazy immortality shit with K-Corp Honglu, you know, it's crazy. So if you do want to go for Rupture stuff, go for this. K-Corp Honglu also has Rupture synergy. He basically heals himself when target has a certain amount of Rupture, which is ridiculous. So he's just going to be even more tanky. Besides that, Heathcliff. Heathcliff, I didn't really see anything. You still need Lust to get Body Sack. Besides that, you can get AEDD for free, but I don't really care about AEDD. Besides that, Otis, Ebony Stem, need to find Lust. It's all about Lust, but Sun Shower you get totally for free. Literally all of your skills will give you this no matter what. So you get this for free, but the main one here is definitely the Pride and the Lust. So 7th section is lacking in the Lust department, so you need to find maybe a 7th member to give you Lust. But besides that, they have pretty much easy access to all of the good egos in the game, if you can somehow fill in that Lust energy. So, okay, besides that, K-Corp Honglu, the reason why we want him is because he has Pride on the skill 1 and has Rupture synergy, so it's just overall very good unit. Alright, so besides all of that team comp placements, I'm thinking that this team comp is probably going to be quite decent at speedrunning content in Refraction Railway because of the turn 1 setup into turn 2 nuke that I was talking about. Because if you can find someone to give you a lot of Lust energy, maybe even N. Sinclair, right? N. Sinclair, the skill 2 gives quite a bit of Lust and Ref as well. You can probably do something like a turn 1 setup into turn 1 Body Sack, turn 1 Swash, turn 1 Exploit the Gap, or turn 1 Dissect. You can be kind of flexible here because Weakness Analyze will apply. Then once you get the correct stuff, you would have 5 slash fragility, maybe even a bit of profiling if you manage to get the slash power up. Like, yeah, I think it's pretty decent in turn 1ing shit. You can even go for the crazy one, which is Rabbit Heathcliff into Ishmael, and then you can combine that with the slash frag. I actually don't know if it overstacks. That one's something you need to check, because slash fragility and regular fragility might actually stack, which sounds ridiculous when I think about it. But yeah, that one needs to be tested. I don't know if you can go above max of 10. Maybe because they're different statuses, so maybe it could work. I don't know. But yeah, this 5 slash fragility is actually going to be so insane with this Faust and with any other slash characters. So that's why I think that this team comp looks really, really fun, really, really spicy. Even if it's not supposed to, even if it's not going to be like meta stuff, it's still going to be very fun to just go for Rupture Gang. You can go for like Talisman Sinclair to just apply a bunch of Rupture onto a boss, and then every hit does 99 damage. Like MD2 hard stuff is going to be really funny if you bring the Rupture Gang. Yeah, besides that, nothing else to say. I think that this banner is actually pretty damn good, but I want to wait and see what their coinage is. I have been disappointed before. Otis, that time I thought she was going to be a DPS, turns out she's more of a bruiser with very strong clashing capabilities. So maybe Faust here, the coinage will also be kind of similar. But she looks very offensive focused, so I don't know. Yep, so that is it for the Theorizing. Besides that, I got nothing else. I shall see you guys when the banner is out, and I'll let you know whether I'm gonna pull. Alright, so that is it for this video. So, in conclusion, this unit looks really spicy. Rupture Gang is winning a lot with this setup. 7th section looks like a really solid team so far. The only thing that they're lacking is definitely a Lust source to get access to some of the better egos in the game. So yeah, this team comp looking very, very strong. Alright, so that will be it. Leave a comment on what you think about the units and I shall take a look. Alright, bye bye everyone.